Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. How are you? I'm so excited. I've actually been really nervous today as well because this is the first time I've launched a textures collection in well over a year. So it's been a morning. I didn't sleep much, but fingers crossed this will all go smoothly. I'm actually even using a new streaming kind of program to what I'm used to using as well. So A, having a year out, and B, not being quite used to this program yet and the software. Could be fun, could be exciting. I'm just going to check things and make sure everything's working this end. It looks like it's all live and going okay. So let's have a look. There I am. Yep. Okay. So I have got lives in a few places. So first of all, we are on the Arden Creative Studio Facebook page. We are on the Arden Creative Studio YouTube channel as well. I'm just going to see if I can pop some chat in there. There's loads of you. So Stamplot, hello, thank you so much for joining me. Avril, Pippa, Julia, thank you for sharing this morning. I then shared your post as well. I hope you're all well. Karen McKay, Samantha, thank you so much. Congratulations to me. Relatively thoughtful, hello. Jackie, hi. I could probably say hello to you all after a year of being out almost all morning or all afternoon. It's not even morning anymore. I am actually giddy with excitement. Laura, hello, how are you? Lovely to speak to you again. It's so nice to see those names that were about in my lives a year ago as well. So I think basically some of you are commenting on my page, some of you are commenting on Arden, some of you will be on the textures page. Hello, greetings from Appleton. Hello, how are you? I love to see people all around the world joining us as well. Sue Davies, can't wait to see the collection in a minute. I've got it all here. I've got examples. I've got 3 demonstrations if we get through them, but if we don't, you know, there's another video waiting to be made. We're going to have a good hour, probably longer because I talk. But yeah, lots of demonstrations, inspiration and creativity with the new Beneath the Brambles collection. So we're across lots of different platforms, so I am going to be keeping an eye on as many as possible and answering. But if I don't answer any of your questions, you might be shouting, screaming, waving at me, and I just can't see it on the devices that I've got. I've also got Fiona in the background as well. She's going to be typing answers to any questions, posting links, things like that if you need them as well. So thank you, Fiona, for joining me today. She'll be in there, and I will also go through this evening and check any comments I might have missed. Also, we both might have missed too. So the collection is going to be available. Now, this is very strange because I'm so used to saying textures is only available for one place. It is worldwide. It's crazy to say that. It's in retailers and shops worldwide. It's honestly, I can't get my head around it. There's so many places that you can purchase this from. The best way to see stockists, although I believe this list needs to now be updated, now Textures has joined the Arden Creative Studio group. But the best way to see potential stockists and retailers is to go to the stockists page on Arden Creative Studio. So that will give you a long list of places that regularly stock Arden products and that are likely to then also take textures as well. But we are going to work on getting like a full comprehensive list for you with links and everything. I know it's on scrapbook.com. I think it's going on Hobby Maker as well. I've certainly got a Hobby Maker TV show Sunday after this one, so the 22nd. So it will definitely be on there then. Funny, Textures by Lou Collins has just commented. Gianna, hello to you. How are you? Georgia, oh, hi from Georgia. Sorry, I thought you were Georgia. Are you from Georgia? Either way, hello. Terry, hi, how are you? Is that flag Italy, Terry? Is it Italy? I'm not sure. I'm terrible with my flags. Honestly, tell me where you're from. Annette said hello from Sydney, Australia. Margaret, hi to you. Ali, I just missed your comment. It just went flying up off the top there. I'm so sorry if I'm missing people. Do you want to see the collection though? I will try, like I say, I'll try and keep on track of all the comments. So I'm going to bring you down. This is the nerve-wracking bit, changing cameras. Hopefully you'll still be able to see me. Let's just get rid of that. Let's see if this works. Okay. Can you still hear me okay? That's the scary thing. I think you can. Certainly, I'm going to put the chat back up. Comment if you can't hear me in big capital letters. Fingers crossed. So Textures. Let's start with the big pad, because this is the one that's going to be able to show you the detail the easiest. Julia says she's got it in stock on her website for shipping to the UK. So she's put the address there. So Julia, thank you so much. You can see where she's got it in stock. Yeah, it's going to be in so many places, and honestly it's making me like this. Oh, perfect. Thank you, host. We don't need the word host, we need Fiona there. That's Fiona is the host. Let me know that everything's all good. Thank you, Gillian Godfrey. Hi, how are you? Are you still running? I just think marathons when I see your name, Julia. Gillian, sorry, you're amazing. Samantha, the papers are signed. Thank you. Let's have a look through. So, Beneath the Brambles. This collection is all about wildflowers, brambles, of course, muted tones that are perfect for spring, summer, and autumn. Lots of distressing in here, a little bit of vintage as well. The idea came, I kind of feel like I need to go back to my face to explain this actually. So let's see if this is actually going to work, go back and forth. So the idea for Beneath the Brambles actually came from, many of you who have followed me for a while will know that the house that I'm in now, it was a huge renovation. And when we got the keys just over 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, the garden, which is 140 foot long, a huge long garden, backs onto fields, absolutely stunning, was 6 foot high brambles from the back door to the back fence. Honestly, the whole lot was high brambles. It was awful. But the things that we found in amongst those brambles have been wonderful. We found ponds. We found so much wildlife. We found nests and things as well. We found wheelbarrows, a garden bench, like just the ends, the wrought iron ends. We found bird baths as well, fences and gates, actual metal gates as well. All of this stuff. So, and this is kind of where the inspiration for Beneath the Brambles came from. So you'll see a lot of those in there. There's bricks in there as well. Now I've mixed this with scripts and papers and vintage style textures as well. So you'll see that. So let's come now back down to the papers and see. Now you've got the backstory. Let's see. So 12 by 12 papers, first of all. So as you can see, lots of greens, lots and lots of greens in there. We have 2 of each sheet. They're double-sided, so you now don't need to choose which is your favorite to use. Sounds like Samantha's garden right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's going to take you years to sort out. There's no lying about that. So I love with this paper, we've got the dark backgrounds. I think that's just so striking with those flowers on top. You wouldn't believe the amount of flowers and bulbs that we found in our garden as well. So as I say, we have got a lot of script, because that's what textures is all about, is script, fonts, letter forms, all creating beautiful designs. Oh, I love this one. I said 12 by 12 is easiest to show you, but it's then so big you can barely see it on the camera. Look at this wood. This wood is literally my garden shed. Okay, that's what it looks like still after 3 years. We haven't replaced that yet, but makes a beautiful texture. So you haven't got to decide which is your favorite. This one is 200 GSM. Had to double check myself there to remind myself. Who have we got? Lisa, hello, how are you? Oh, Gillian's still running. I'm so glad. Oh, Luby Crafts, I've got a photo with you from Frankfurt. So we actually went to Frankfurt to launch this collection to retailers, to suppliers back in February. That was just so exciting. Look, I think this is probably one of my favorite pages of the entire pad. These you can cut out, you can use as a full sheet if you want a really fun sort of divided scrapbook page, but it's a full sheet. You can cut into pieces wherever you like, and then look at the background as well, really beautiful. So there's those. This is matte. It's matte and it's smooth. You wouldn't believe it looking at this paper that it is smooth, perfectly smooth. You can stamp on it, you can emboss it, you can tear it back. It's actually got a white core, so you can do your distressing on it as well if you want. It's going to hold your mediums really, really well as well. Stella, thank you so much. The colour palette's stunning. Do you know what? As I flick through these, and there's that brick. This is just so much like the borders of the garden looked, probably still do look in places actually. Purples and greens were always my favourite 2 to put together, and not necessarily really harmonious colours either. But when I was growing up, I actually had my dad employ a decorator to come and paint my bedroom purple and green. But I didn't stick with just
I think in them days, a lot of it was one colour on the bottom, one colour on the top of the wall, halfway through a border. Didn't have a border. I wanted the poor decorator to have to do a wavy line all the way through the middle of the two, purple and green. And I've loved the combination ever since. Even when I was in school, I used to underline everything in one in purple, one in green. Lisa, we were excited to get a sneak peek in Frankfurt. Yeah, it was such a fun show. I absolutely adored it. It was my first time to Frankfurt. I've been to other shows, but not that one before. This wood grain. Isn't it beautiful? The detail in it, it doesn't matter how close you get, it's so clear. Obviously, you've got your 4x6 cards here. So if you like to do your 4x6 card making, you can cut these out. You've got instant card fronts. You can snip into them. They're perfect for journaling cards, for photo mats, things like that on your bigger scrapbook pages, in your mini albums as well. Debbie loves the script in the background. Yeah, me too. Then these are some smaller pieces. So you've got 6x6 squares, and on the reverse as well, we have 6x6s too. So you can kind of, if I do this, you can kind of see. This would have been easier, wouldn't it? Would have been easier if I did this in the beginning. So yeah, you can see your 6x6s. You've got 2 sheets of each again. So if you love one, this they make perfect card fronts. So just pop that on a card, a sentiment, and you're done. If you like quick cards, if you want quick projects. And then we've got this beautiful, beautiful background. Again, if you love scrapbooking, that's going to be absolutely perfect for just like a background that's done for you. I'm actually using this in a card. I think I'll do it as my first demonstration. Now, what I love with textures is it lends itself to quite clean card making. Like I say, if you love the detail, but you don't like to get messy, you don't like to do the layering, then this one is perfect for just like all the work's done for you. You put a few elements on and it's done like this, for example, scrapbook page. The peeling paint, we found that on so many things. This one took so long to build up, but obviously we've done it all digitally, but it took so long to put together, but I'm really pleased with the result. So nice clean scrapbooking. However, if you do love your mixed media, if you do love to get messy, add your mediums to it and such like, everything in the collection is also perfect for lending itself to that, because that's how I like to work. Sometimes I need a quick card, a quick scrapbook page, whatever it may be. This is great. This, on the other hand, lends itself to putting your texture paste over your ink sprays and everything. So yeah, either way, it doesn't matter how you craft. So Stamplard, I love the combo of 6x6, 4x6. Thank you. Thank you so much. There was a lot of thought went into this. In fact, probably near on a year's thought of it with this one, actually. So long story, I might go into it later, but yeah, nearly a year for this particular collection. The pockets and envelopes are so cool, and they haven't got there yet. Samantha's giving my secrets away now. Yeah, pockets and envelopes. So at the back here, we do have pockets and tags, and these are all die cut for you. Okay, so I'm going to pop this one out just to give you an example. So each one is designed. Now the butterflies, the bugs are taking up space there. They're not die cut, so you can cut them out or leave them in the pad if you wish. So usually that would be the waste. I didn't want anything wasted. Hey Barry. So then this has also got, I don't think you can see it. Oh, you can just see there, we've got a score line. Okay, so you can use either the back, if I show you the back sheet, we've got all script, okay, all distressed paper. I'm getting a sore throat already. It's going to be a long hour. I'm not used to talking so much. So we've got the script if you don't love the florals for your particular project that you're doing on the day. But if you do, you can use either side. So either way, you just fold along the score lines and you're making yourself pockets and tabs. So I'll just make one up for you to show you how it works. So there you see, fold, and you've got yourself an envelope. However, if you're doing maybe a masculine project, you're just going to fold it the other way, pop it this way, and there we go. We've got something a little more grungy, a little more distressed, not quite so feminine, if that's what you want. Entirely up to you. I'll try and just place that back in, but that's not going to stay, is it? This is my nice, clean, neat sample that I'm not supposed to be pulling apart. So we've got a diagonal pocket there. We've got one with this sort of a large thumb notch as such for putting tags in. This entire arrow pops out as well. This all pop away. This one has got a score line down the middle. It's probably not so easy to see on that pattern paper, but you've also got the tab there as well. Now let's carefully bring this over just so you can see 2 sheets of that. And then at the back, we have got a full sheet of tag, or 2 full sheets of tags. They all pop out again. All of these are going to pop away for you. So none of the little pips either. They're honestly, they are so cleanly cut. When you pop them out, I never ever have to get my scissors and snip away the little pips, which I love. And again, on the back we've got a different design. So we've got the smaller green hexagons there. So if you want to use a tag but you don't maybe want the lilac, or you don't want florals, you've then got something different on the back as well. So that's your 12 by 12 pad. Now I'm not going to go through the 8 by 8 entirely, because as you'll be able to see, it's simply the scaled down version of each of those pages that we've already seen. Stella, have you got a link there? Hopefully you have. I know you were asking whereabouts you can purchase. Karenina, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Loving this and ordered. Thank you so much. Let us know where you've ordered from as well. If you've ordered already, reserved it, pre-ordered, whatever, let us know where you've got it from, so other people who can also shop there will know that they have it in stock. Sue Davies, I love that these are die cut. Thank you. Yeah, I was really excited about that. So in this one, like I say, the papers are all the same front to back except the last 4 pages. Now 2 of the pages are similar, so let's skip to these 2. So these 2 pages, we have those tags again. Now obviously the tags are smaller than in the 12 by 12, so you've got 2 different sizes there, and again you do have the different background, but these 2 sheets are different. So rather than the pockets, which would be actually quite tiny if we put those pockets on here, scrapbook.com or ecstasy crafts as well is best bet, Gedra says. Thank you. Yeah, didn't rip anything taking die cuts. It's a big plus. Absolutely. Yeah, nothing's ripping. Now on this sheet we have got the sentiments are all die cut for you. So again, I shouldn't really be popping these out because these are my samples that I'll be taking to TV and everything and showing you. So I want to keep them as clean and new as possible. Oh, All and Create have them as well. Fantastic. Craft Avenue Distribution and Ecstasy Crafts. Honestly, there's so many. I am what's the word? I am humbled that so many places want to stock this. I still can't get over it. Anyway, back to the product. So these are all die cut, all with a slight shadow around them. So we've got Naturally Beautiful, Growing Together, Freshly Picked Memories, Where Flowers Bloom, So Does Hope, Love Grows Here, Let Your Soul Blossom, Ordinary Moments, Extraordinary Memories, and The Earth Laughs in Flowers. Now, besides that, with these ones, you've also got all the florals and all the butterflies also pop out too. The bees, the wasps, that's a bee, is a honeybee, not a wasp. We don't like wasps quite so much. But yeah, so everything pops away. So like I said, they are your 2 papers. Now let's just pop these to the side. I want to see where I can put these so that they're not in the way. And let's bring these in. This is where we start to see some projects as well, because of course the papers I've used across virtually every project that I've done, but these are going to be all the extra bits, all the bits you're going to put on top of the papers. Do you know what? Yeah, let's start here. So here's some embellishments. These are our rub-ons. Now there's 8 sheets in total here. Usually with rub-on sheets you don't get quite as many as 8, but I'm greedy. I wanted 4 full colour sheets and I wanted 2 of each, so you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't want to use that one because it's my favourite. We've all done that. So let's have a look at these. These are extremely vivid colours. They transfer unbelievably beautifully. Now, I remember rub-ons from years ago when they weren't quite so great. They were amazing detail. Imagery is superb. Thank you so much. Hi, Jan. How are you? Fiona Kenwood, all ordered. Can't wait. Not on the website yet. Queensland, Australia. Is it fisartsupplies.com, I think? Yeah, 8 sheets in here. So there's obviously 2 of each, but let's look at the 4 designs because I'm in love with them. So I wanted sentiments. I think it's the most amazing way of just putting your sentiment on, where it will literally go over almost any material. So Samantha's used 75% of hers already. Yeah, they transfer beautifully, don't they? So these have gone over wood. I've put rub-ons on leather before. Not these ones. I used Katie's ones, but they're created by the same people. These I've put on to cardstock. I said wood, didn't I? Plastic, they'll go on metal. Honestly, they'll stick to almost anything. And the colour is so vivid. So we've got all the words there. I will be showing you how to use these. If you've never seen rub-ons, maybe you're new to the craft world, I'll show you in my demonstrations how they work. They are effectively printed onto a clear background on this clear sheet, and you simply place it down on your project, rub it off. So you've got the splats. These I adore, especially as they've actually got text and script and things in them as well. We've got florals here. We've got, this is the first one, that's that one. So I'm just showing you, trying to show you the 4 different designs. This is another one. The splats seem to be the most popular elements so far, especially for me. Fiona loves the little snails. Oh yeah, look, I need a name for the snails as well. On glass, yes, Samantha said glass, fantastic. Put them on glass. Oh, that'd make beautiful gifts, wouldn't it? So if anyone can think of a good snail name, because he doesn't have a name yet, and that's not fair. And then these ones as well. Now, these patterns you're going to see repeated throughout the collection in papers and things. These are kind of like my standard, my go-to when I need texture, talking about text and fonts and letter forms and things. So let's see. That's great news. Oh, okay, sorry. People are talking amongst themselves, I think. Sydney Snail, hi, how are you? In my craft shed. So let me see, put these away. There's 8. Let's see if I'm just going to show you one project at the moment with these on, because I'm going to demonstrate them. I've actually used these rub-ons. So first of all, I used texture paste in the background with the stencil. The rub-ons are here, so I used it as a distressed bit of stamping almost in the bottom here. This leaf is rub-on. The green splat in the background, that's all rub-on. These florals here, look how vivid they are, even over this dark background. They're beautiful, and they've just gone over the texture absolutely perfectly, and there's like no miss spots or anything. I adore them. So that's the rub-ons on a project. I'll just pop that to the side and that to the side, and I don't know where I'm going with it all. We have decoupage papers as well. So decoupage papers, if you've not seen them before, are very thin, almost like tissue paper or rice paper. These are printed. Now I've printed these ones a little differently to some others because I wanted the monochrome, and that's something I'd probably stick with because you can colour them any way you want. I've made sure there's 2 designs for florals and sort of delicate ones, and 2 designs for maybe if you don't want to go floral. So we've got script there, and we've got, as I was talking about, those fonts and the alphabets and numbers and things that you'll see lots. There's 2 of those. Then we've got 2 floral ones. So this one with both the script and the florals in, gorgeous. And then we've got 2 that are just flowers with those honeybees buzzing around too. Okay, got some sort of magnolias in there, which, as many of you know, magnolia is one of my favourite flowers. We've got lots of ideas. So Sydney Snail, Sebastian, Colin, H said Gary the snail. You can't name a snail Gary. No. What about Barry? Sybil and Basil snails could be. Oh, yeah, Gidra said Barry. There we go. I am going to demonstrate these today. It might be a long hour, a lot longer than an hour. These are just some examples of where I've used those papers onto some tags, added some colour to them as well. I think this one I actually did in Frankfurt. This one I might have done in Frankfurt as well. I can't remember. I did a lot there, a lot of demonstrating, but that's them scrunched up. I can also put them flat onto my project. I would recommend with these something like a collage medium to put it on, but you can just use like your usual wet glue. So something, for example, like acrylic glue, watered down, and that will stick it as well. I prefer to use the collage matte medium or medium matte because it's matte, and then I won't have any resistance with my inks and things. This one I've painted acrylic over the flowers. I've used pencil crayons as well on there. I've used spritzes, and I've got a rub-on, one of those purple rub-ons over the top of the decoupage papers. So everything works together. So there's those papers. Then we've got our sentiment strips. Now these are laser cut, which means just like the back of the pads, They are cut out really cleanly. They'll all hold in your sheet, but they will pop out very, very easily. We've got kind of 4 sheets in here. There's 38 sentiment strips in total. There are repeated sentiments. Let's just carefully take this out. Okay, so we've got white and black. So we've got 2 of these. Okay, so half white, half black. We've got the same sentiments in both colours, so you can reuse them. At the bottom, as you can see, we've got numbers and we've got alphabets as well. So things like whatever you may be kind, believe, and you're halfway there. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So they're all things that can lend themselves to lots of different occasions. Okay, and on the reverse, I've simply done the purple and the green that work really well with the rest of the collection. I mean, you're not likely to see the reverse, but if you want the strip and you want to stamp something else on it, if you want to put it on acetate and you're going to see the back, if you want to curl it, for example, or whatever, you know, if you're going to see the back at all, at least it's a colour that coordinates with the rest of the collection. And as I say, you have got 2 of these. This one's just coming out. I think that's one I tried to pop out, but I don't know if you can see that. Absolutely zero. Let's pull it out. No pips at all. Nothing to indicate where that was held into there. Okay, so they are our laser cut sentiments. Now, the inspiration for that obviously came from an old textures product, which was the sentiments for all paper pack, but now it's all cut for you. And then I've got them on a couple of projects here, just so you can see them. This is a project I've done. I've got the pockets from the paper pack there. I've got the decoupage papers there. I've got some of the tags and bits from the papers as well. And of course, I've got the sentiment strips here. Then again, papers. I'm coming to the dies next, and we'll talk about those in a moment. Those sentiment strips there as well. Okay, dies. This is where I show you a lot of work. Shall we start? Let's start with the wood grain, because I love this. Now, there's 2 dies in it, or 2 pieces in this die set. You have an outline die to cut your wood grain out afterwards, or before if you want to. So we've got that. That's a simple rectangle, quite easy to explain. Now this is really clever. It doesn't cut all the way through, but you can get multiple different wood grain looks from this die. Okay, now this first one here, I've simply embossed the die. So when I say emboss the die, you can run it through without anything. So if you run this die through without, like in your normal die cutting machine, no rubber mat, the way you would if you were actually die cutting, these lines are not going to cut through your paper, but they're going to leave an indent, and they'll leave a subtle indent, as you can see here. But if you run it through with a rubber mat, okay, so what you're going to want to do is put your paper down, your die on top, and then run it through your machine. And I always keep the same sandwich. I don't alter anything else. You're going to get this effect here. So you can see where your die is not only going to deboss down into your cardstock, these lines here, but where you've got the gaps in the die, the rubber mat is going to really push the cardstock through those, and you're going to get emboss as well. So you're getting emboss and deboss across the wood grain there. Okay, then if you add ink to your die before you run it through and do your embossing, or even just die cutting, you're going to get this effect. Okay, so this is actually, I inked the reverse of the cardstock, so not the piece that was touching the die, but the back of it. You'll have a back and front once you've run it through, so you can sort of play with which look you like best for your project. This one, I've added ink to my die, and I've also run over the top of the embossing. So the ink will go to the debossed wood grain. You can then, once you take your paper out, run ink over the embossing in a different colour. And then I've just done the same here just to prove you don't have to use a wood grain colour. You can use and make like a weathered wood painted texture, true to the texture's name. What's this? Am I missing something here? Maybe not. So yeah, so textures, sorry, yes, I see what you mean. I thought you were answering someone else there. No, texture, exactly. Adding texture to your projects as much or as little as you like. Let me just show you a couple of projects. I'll show you one in a moment actually, because we'll come to that next. So that is your wood grain craft die set. Then the next set we've got is the clipboards. Okay, so this one is, you'll notice, a volume 2. Now on some of the products you'll see volume 2 come up now and then. What that means is that we previously within the textures range may have had a die set that was similar. Very, very rarely would it be identical. You wouldn't have an identical dice set. I wouldn't want to do that to you because you don't want to buy twice, and that's a bit pointless. But what I want to do is say, so, okay, something was really, really popular. I want to bring it back, but let's do it differently. So someone could buy it a second time and have it differently. Nothing will be identically the same. So with this one, the clipboards are smaller. Before, when we had clipboard coverings, the largest clipboard was A5. It was huge. This one is smaller and then smaller again. We have the paper clip. We have the 2 different types of clips for the top, so you can mix and match these. We have the piece of paper as well. Now with either of them, you can actually make them into a card base if you wanted to, as I have done here, or it can just go directly onto your project. And then we've got 2 additional dies in here. These are your stitching dies, and they are separate. They look like it's one die on here, but they're actually 2 separate dies. We'll just show you so you can see. So they're your clips. Here you go. That's part of the clipboard. So you've got these strips here. Now again, a bit like the wood grain, these are cutting through, but they're not cutting anything away. They're actually cutting a stitched effect into your paper or your cardstock. So, and you can repeat this pattern quite easily as well. So I've just done one there, but you can then repeat it again and again to get yourself a really long strip of stitching if you want. You could do this around the edges of your clipboard, things like that. So, and of course these can be prettied up as much as you like. The wood grain die works really nicely on the background of these, which you'll see again in a moment. And in fact, you'll see that in my demonstrations as well. I will get to the demonstrations, I promise. And then we've got this die set. Now, again, this is a volume 2. So this is the Document and Discover, which came, I think, with the Botanicals collection previously. Let's get this the right way around. So this is all the dies that you're going to get, just so you can see the sizes and the kind of colours that you can do them. Obviously, everything will just die cut out. They're black dies as well, which I love. Everything will just die cut out plain. But once you start adding your colour or snipping into paper piecing, this is the kind of effect you can get. So here's my bramble. This is what I want to call my hero image for the whole collection. My little bramble cluster. So it's got the blackberries on there. It's got the little flowers as well and the leaves. You can really snip into this and use it, you know, for, they could be raspberries as well if you prefer. You don't have to do them black or purple. We've got the magnifying glass. Now I have actually, I'm going to show you again in a demonstration how I did this. So you're not getting the butterfly included in this die set. That's just an image to show you what you could do with the magnifying glass. But it is all everything cut from the papers and things like that. Then we've got this torn edge here. This die, in fact, is a repeating edge one. So it's this one here. So you can see it's that long, but I've duplicated it. So I've done it once and then done it twice and given myself a really long notebook edge, as such as if it's been torn out of a notebook. So it's very easy to do. It lines up beautifully. We have got, I want to go Sydney. My dad's name was Sydney, so I think we're going to go Sydney the snail. Thank you. Who was it? I can't remember who first suggested it, but yeah, we're going to go Sydney the snail. We've got Ticket as well, and I've done some stamping on there, which you'll see from the stamps in a moment. I'm going to show you. And then we've got the leaves and the ferns too. So that's everything that's in the volume 2 of the Document and Discover die set. A couple of examples for you. So this is, I think this was the first card I made when I got the whole collection. So you can see we've got the wood grain on the clipboard in the background there. We've got obviously the clipboard bulldog clip, is it? There. Hello from Guatemala. Hello, Vivian. How are you? In my craft shed. Me. So Sydney the snail, which is down here. Different colours, but down here I've coloured him in. I've actually paper pieced in there. Lots of the brambles around here too. Got the tag under there. We've got a bit of the torn notebook there, and we've got the laser cut words too. So a lot of everything on this one card. Just on this very, very simple card. We'll come to the flowers and the leaves in a bit. I don't know how well you can see this because it is only embossed and I've got very bright lights, but hopefully you can see that panel of wood grain in the background. I think if I hold it at that angle, that's probably best. Thank you. Hello, Sherry. Anyone new in here? How are you? Jennifer, hello from Denmark. Hi, how are you? Hope you're well. So you can see that you don't have to cut out the wood grain. You can use it in your project and leave it with a solid border around it if you want to. Really nice to add a subtle background to a card. And then this one's a little bit different, used much more vivid colours, but just simply the bramble die cut there I used, inked it. In fact, there's a reel on social media, so check out Textures by Lou Collins on Instagram and Facebook, and I've got my page, obviously just Lou Collins, I think it's Paper Crafting with Lou Collins. Both of those will have this reel on, I believe, showing you how I made this card. In fact, a lot of the cards I've made, I actually make before I go to my normal job, my office job in the mornings. So I have about an hour every morning to create, and virtually everything has been made in that time. Okay, so to show it doesn't, nothing takes long, everything works together. Right, then we're going on to stamps. So we've got, I adore these. I've got a really big board to show you in a moment. So we've got the floral borders and corners clear stamp set. I've wanted something like this for such a long time. So we've got a straight board. Let me turn it around because they are bigger. We've got straight edge. We've got a corner. We have a curve, and then we have some single pieces. So tiny branch in case you need it. We've got a floral with some butterflies on, and then we've got a bit of a branch here of vine with a few smaller florals on. You can mix and match these in so many different ways. So first of all, here's an art journal page that I did. So I've put, I think it will, let me see which cluster. It was one of these. I've got a bright light on there. I think it was this edge of the square up in this top corner. And then I also used this for around here. But look at this, check this out, okay? If you like to get them a lot for your money with any product, these are just some of the shapes that I've created using this stamp set. I kind of want to do it this way and show you. So this is the two corners put together, okay? 4 of the corners put together instead. So this is the one stamp from, so this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you've got something like the Sizzix spin stamp thing, you could probably work that out to stamp them all evenly. We've got the border, and of course the border, this one I've actually extended. So the border is this long, but you can repeat it and create a long border. So these are the curves, 2 put together, but this is also the curve. So top and bottom is the curved piece, which is here. There we go. And then I've used that long border between here and here instead. Okay. Shut the front door. I love that. So, I mean, these literally, this is all I could fit on the sheet. I could do so many different options with the stamp set, different combinations to create different shapes. Of course, you can go with diamonds and things. You can use this border. You can mask off if you only need a small bit to make different shapes. I think the possibilities really are endless with that. So that's one stamp set. Then I've got a second stamp set. That is a mouthful. So we've got the background elements here. The brickwork backgrounds, I just adore this, and I'm going to use it so much. You can see I've used a copper coloured embossing powder in the background of this card that's just underneath the silhouettes of those blackberries that we saw from the die set a minute ago. A bit of an inked purple and green inked background, really nice and easy. I've got a feeling I did that in Frankfurt. I can't remember. Right. And then we've got now these. I love these because everyone has a style. And one thing I'm in love with is putting bright white and black stamped images on top of a coloured background. Okay. I think they pop beautifully. Again, I'm going to show you that. I'm just wondering, there must be something I've already shown you where I've got that in it. There must be. There must be, and I can't see anything now. Okay, something will come up later. But I've used them on this card, white embossed. Again, this is a reel, so if you pop onto our social medias, you'll probably find this in amongst the reels section. But yeah, just these stamped images in the background as accents, almost as bubbles, but there's a very much a botanical feel with this, again with the script. And when I did the ticket, just to show you again versatility, the ticket here that I've got, that red bit there, I simply use this stamp. Let's turn it over because they are slightly larger again. So it's this stamp, and I masked off the edge. I mean, you could just take a wet wipe and wipe the edge away afterwards, and then stamped it onto the ticket so I didn't get the circle. So I've just got the text from inside. So again, lots of versatility with them. When you really look at a product, think, well, actually, I don't have to use it all. But yeah, I adore those two as accents or backgrounds. Right, a few last bits and then we'll get into demonstration, I promise. So ephemera. Now I need to clear the decks for this one. Another brick in the wall never goes amiss. I love that, a touch of craft. That's great. And Samantha's are replying to someone. And again, if I miss any comments, I apologise. We are across lots and lots of different platforms today. I'm not sure. So, oh, Sam Milligan, you've ordered and can't wait. Fantastic. Sam, where did you order from? Now, the reason I'm getting these out is because the sheer amount in this ephemera pack is crazy. It's ridiculous. If you're in the US, if you go onto, I know on the scrapbook.com website, they've actually got the reverse of the packet showing rather than the front, just to show you the contents. Look, I'm not going to be able to show you everything, but across the back, you see there's so much in here. We've got the fences and the gates, so you can really start to build up scenes with this. There's another one under here, slightly smaller one, slightly different. We've got wreaths as well, so wreaths and bouquets. I adore these, they're so great. If you want simple cards, they're already built up for you. And then we've even got down to our little individual pieces like so. If you're not so keen on the white edge, you can snip around. If you like fussy cutting, you can snip out even more. But let me show you this. So when you're using a white card base, you hardly see that white edge at all. Now, this one was one actually Fiona, who is kind of doing the, like, it's 43 minutes. I haven't even started demoing that. It's going to be probably 2 hours. I'm sorry, everybody. I hope you're sitting comfortably. So Fiona, who's in the background helping with the stream, I'm sure she said to me when we were in Germany, can you do something with the ephemera? And I was like, right, let's try and do a card almost entirely with the ephemera. And that's what I came up with. So yeah, lots of layers on here. We've got Sydney the snail in there too. We've got the birds, got the butterflies, sorry. We've got the a little moth there too. Florals, vines, lovely. Love that. And here's another one. So just onto a little embroidery hoop. I've got some mesh in the backgrounds there. That is from the die, obviously the magnifying glass, and the ticket is from the die set. But then we've got all the ephemera. And what I like to do is take one of the ephemera that's like a close-up of a flower, like maybe this one, and then place it under the magnifying glass, under something like a cluster, so it looks as if you're enlarging just part of it in the magnifying glass. I think that's really fun. So that's the ephemera. There's no way I'm going to get all this back in the packet. So I'm just going to try and be clever and scoop it onto under here and put that away later. So there's a couple. And lastly, the last item to show you is the inkable florals. So the inkable florals is dainty and beautiful. Thank you. The inkable florals are, there's 4 sheets in total, but 2 designs such. They're kind of joined sheets. So 2 sheets that are joined. Let's see. So we have flowers and we have leaves. Now, talking about the quality of the laser cuts, that's what we've got here. Really, really good quality. So when things pop out, you get none of the pips. Everything's die cut, as you can see. I wanted laser cut in white, so I could ink with whatever color I wanted. So of course, I love my purples and greens with this collection, but I might have Kim might have finally given in. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Thank you. I might have wanted bright lime green leaves. I might want hot pink or yellow flowers, I can do this. I can have any colour paper flower I want. I've got different colours in the petals so that I can stack them up and really build up the florals to be dimensional, or I can put them on flat onto my project, either way. And I've got a text side, a printed script side, and a plain side in each pack. This way, because what I very often will do, and I know a lot of people will, is they will die cut or hand cut a flower or a leaf, and before they add the colour, or after they add the colour, they'll add a stamp, a bit of script, a bit of grunge in there, a bit of texture, a bit of distressing. This one's all done for you. So the script is already printed on there, and when you ink over, that script is still going to show through. It'll be nice and subtle because you're adding your ink over the top, but it's perfect. However, if you're in a hurry and you don't want to be inking flowers, maybe that's not your thing, we have on the petals, we have all different lilacs and purples in there for you. And on the greens, we have 2 different greens on the leaves as well. So if you're wanting quick cards, and I'm just going to quickly come back to one that I had here, it was, I showed you earlier, that's been done with these colours. Okay, beautiful colours, will work really well with the collection. But if you like the white, then you can be inking and colouring, which I've done on these ones here. So this is quite flat with some ink in there, subtle, because I watered it down, because this cardstock, this paper, it will really take moisture. It will take your mediums and hold on really well. And then this one, I've got spritzes, and you can see you've got the script in the texture there, and I've really built them up and kind of shaped them as well. So you've got the 2 different options. Well, you've got lots of different options: script or plain, white, inked or not inked. Shape them, don't shape them. You know, the possibilities are endless. I don't even like that phrase, but I keep saying it with this collection. Okay, let's have a little bit of a break. There we go. So how are we all doing? For those who didn't catch the beginning, hello, hi. It's not just my hands, I promise. I'm going to just move all of these things out of the way so that I can get demonstrating. I hope you're all still with me. That was a really long intro, but I think there's a lot to show you, and I've got a lot to talk about. So because I'm just in love with everything. Let's put these up here, and shall we do, you know what, let's do 2 demonstrations today, so we're not too long. I've got another live to do tonight to someone else. So not such a public one, that one, but you know, so I've got a lot to do. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is working with, first of all, with one of the papers. It's the 8x8 paper pack. I'm making an 8x8 card. Now, I do card making, I do art journaling, I do scrapbooking, mini albums, altered art, a little bit of everything. So any of the techniques and things that I'm going to be doing in the demonstrations can, hello Sam, how are you? Sam, I am 48 minutes in. I haven't done a demo yet. I'm still showing everyone everything. Sue, thought of everything. Thank you so much. Stella, thank you for all your kind comments. So everything that I'm showing you can be transferred to whatever type of craft you love to do. So nothing is primarily for card making or for scrapbooking or so on and so on. So should we come down and have a look and actually do some crafting now? So what I've got from the paper pack is quite a number of things. In fact, I'm going to bring in, oh dear, this is my used paper pack. But as you can see, I've taken one of the papers from here, and this one was 8x8, but I have trimmed it down just about 5 millimeters, or maybe about, no, it wasn't 5 millimeters, it was more than that. It was about ½ an inch off of each of the edges, or ½ of an inch of each, ½ an inch, I can't remember. From an 8x8, I've taken it down a little bit smaller. I don't measure anything. You'll learn that about me. I do not measure. Sounds me, I'm just walking on to, I know. Hello, Monty. Is it Monty's birthday? Did I see it was Monty's birthday today? Or soon, coming up, I'm not sure. I need to go and have a look. But happy birthday, Monty. Oh, he's gone posh today, Monty, if it is. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hi, how are you? Hopefully when I wake up in the morning, I'll be Annette. Go to sleep. What time is it for you? Okay, so we're starting with the base. As you can see, With this paper, I don't need to do a lot of work. In fact, I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to do a little bit of inking around the edges. I'm loving ground espresso at the moment for inking the edges of my projects. I just love it. It's not quite, because I'd often go with a black, but black's a little bit harsh, whereas ground espresso is just that little bit warmer. It's still nice and dark, doesn't clash with anything really. So and as you can see, we've got lots of different browns. Now I have actually got, if anyone's interested, I have actually got a list of distress ink or oxide colours. I tend to use oxides that work really well with this. So we've got milled lavender, dusty concord, antique linen, forest moss, and bundled sage. I'll maybe get those out in a little while, or tell you what, I'll put them on my social media and on the textures page. Speaking of which, we have also got a textures group. So crafting with textures, please come along and join the group, because there you'll get things like sneak peeks, maybe some little sneaky lives, a bit of impromptu at times maybe. There'll be inspiration chat going on in there, might have the odd little giveaway, things like that. So come and join us in the group. It's somewhere where I can share things that aren't necessarily worthy of a full Facebook post, but I can share it with all of you. It's a birthday walk to burn off the cake. Oh, bless him. Oh, I love him. How old is he now? How old is he? I'm trying to work out when you got him. He's an old boy. No, he's not. He's not as old as Roscoe, is he? So Roscoe's, we've got 3 dogs at home, but they used to love, so Monty, Sam's dog, and particularly Bryson, my daughter's dog that lives with us, used to love getting on FaceTime together. I don't know that they could see or hear each other, but we thought they could. Thanks for colour matching. Okay, now if you found that helpful, I feel like I need to get those out for you just to show you. So the colours for this collection, obviously there's lots more. Where are you? Antique linen. There we go. Forest moss. I use a lot of peeled paint for my accents, for my leaves and things, and bundled sage as well. So these are the colours that I would say, oh, that one's upside down, as is that one. These are the colours that I would say are great to get started with the collection when you first get it, that work really nicely with them. Okay, hopefully you can see those okay. Thank you, Sam. He's 4. He's not 4 already. No. I mean, yeah, he is, I believe it, but oh, he's still so young though, really. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the clipboard. I'm actually going to show you the wood grain dye. So I'm going to use it just without the outline. So it comes with the outline, so you can cut it out, but I'm going to use it without. Let me just place this. I'll just use this once, and then I can show you, as you can see, I've done that here. So I'm going to take ground espresso and put this all over the dye. It's usually a good idea if you actually pop a bit of kitchen towel or something underneath. So when I emboss this in my machine now, just put these away now, so you're going to really see those dye lines. Let me bring the machine in. I'll wipe my mat in a moment. So got my base plate. Usually what would happen is your cardstock would go down like so. Then you would put obviously your dye would go on top. This is because I'm using the chrome mat, and then your plate. If you're not using a chrome mat, you'd probably do it the other way around. But instead, I'm going to place my mat down first, then my cardstock, and I tend to go with this is the Arden Creative cardstock. I think it's taupe, this colour, Taupe. Is that how you say it? Just doubt myself. Okay, then the dye on top. It's actually a good idea if you tape this still, because you've got ink on the dye. It's me being lazy. And then I'm going to run this through. Now there will be quite a bit of pressure here, and obviously if your rubber mat is thicker than mine, you might need to actually take a plate out of your sandwich. But so there's quite a lot of pressure, but run that through. Okay, now You can, if you want to, and I'm going to do that now just to show you. You can do this stage or not, entirely up to you. Let's take Vintage Photo, which is a slightly lighter brown. Now go through these areas of the dye with your ink as well, okay, because they should be from we can see on the back the pressure from that rubber mat pushing through has pushed that cardstock up through these, so it's really easy to capture the detail, and then we get this lovely wood grain effect. So go through here. Let's see, beautiful collection. Thank you, Dragon's Papercraft. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can see how you say it, Gidra. Sorry, how you spell it. I just can't remember how to say it. It's taupe, isn't it? I should know this. I know, it's one word I've always struggled with. There we go. So when I lift that up, there we go. We have wood grain. If you want to mellow that out a bit, you can just brush over the top a bit. But essentially, you have got dark low light. You've got highlights in there as well. 3 different colours in your wood. Really, really easy. Let's just give this a wipe down. I like to be nice and clean, and I'm going to wipe my dye as well. Now, if you're going to wipe your dye with something wet, like a wet wipe, make sure it's dried thoroughly before you put it away, because essentially it's metal. It is coated, so it should be fine, but I just prefer to make sure it's clean and dry before I pop it back in its packet. So I'm going to leave that one out, and I'll do that when we finish the live. So now not only can you do this, you can also do this side by side by side. I say it like hope. Taupe. Oh, taupe. Is that how you say it, is it? I can give it a go, but I'm sure you say it much better than I do. Thank you, Lisa. I guess I won't be adding. It's coming soon. I have to wait for it. Oh, where's that from? Maria. Where are you looking? But yeah, I'm sure coming soon. It might be that people are just not up this time of day and haven't activated it on the website, because of course it's only launched today. So you can do this, repeat the design side by side, which I've done here. And so I've got continuous wood grain. You can do this as long as you want. It's not continuous long ways, but it is sideways, okay? And with this one, you can, of course, turn the dye each time you do it as well to get different looks. So I've done that, exactly the same effect on here. And then I've cut it out using the largest of those clipboard dies. And that's going to make my clipboard along with the mirror board clip, like so. I'm just going to plug in a hot glue gun just quickly, because I'm going to need that in a moment. So now's the time for me to plug it in. Look at me, all organised-ish. I'd like to say I'm organised, I'm really not. So we've got our base, and I thought that just works beautifully on there. But once I started putting all my leaves and things on, I felt actually there's a little bit too much going on. So I have just taken a plain white piece of cardstock. I've taken my sewing machine and purposely, badly, I'm not usually this bad at sewing, purposely badly, with the tension far too tight on the bottom bobbin, stitched around this cardstock, and then I've plucked out, as you can see in even spaces, I've plucked out some of the threads. So I had black on the top, white on the bottom to give me a really distressed look. In fact, I'm also going to distress that a little bit more. Bought this from Hazel Eaton, Dragon's Papercraft, can't wait to play. Fantastic. Paper and Twine, what's your first name? I like to see names. I know I can see your handle on YouTube. Thank you for joining me wherever you're watching. So I'm just distressed around the edge of this. Obviously, if you're going to do this, please be careful. There are proper distressing tools. I just prefer to use my scissors. I'm a bit more hands-on than fiddling around with the tool, but be very careful if you're going to do that. And I'm going to come back to my vintage photo and just add a little bit of brown around the edge of this. So what this is going to do is give me a block of white between my clipboard and my pattern paper, and that's just really going to help the florals and everything that I'm going to put on in a moment stand out. So this is where I love to add my contrasting colours between the layers. So you go all the way around the edge. Now, the poor people in the office who are watching this today probably thought I would be on for an hour, and probably thought they could do an hour and then have their lunch. Little did they know that I do not craft just for an hour. Very rarely is it just an hour. Right, okay, so I'm going to stick the clipboard down just with the wet glue there. Oh, Ashley, hello. Oh, Ashley, I see, yeah. So we crafted together when I won Card Maker of the Year and you sold my craft collection on Create and Craft. Yes, sorry, Ashley, I didn't realise that was your handle. I know, I do know that, don't I? I remember now. That was a beautiful collection. In fact, I've still got some. Right, so that's going to go there. But I am going to be using my hot glue gun for that part. Let me just see. It looks like it's heating up because I've cut this again from the paper pack. Now, I don't think I've got a sheet of this left to show you that's intact in this pack. Oh, I have. Look, here we go. So this is my used pack. If go back to the beginning, if you want to see the full collection and like nothing taken out. Thank you, Barry. Just eat your lunch while you're watching. It's fine. Lynn, you finally found me. Did you not? Could you not find us at the beginning? You've missed an hour, Lynn. You've got lots to catch up on later, but stay with me now. So that's this sheet. Like I say, you do have 2 of everything, so don't worry about using it. But of course, things like the paper pack, the ephemera, the rub-ons, honestly, I would go for a couple if you can because you're going to use them up. Now, I'm curving this because I want this to sit on here, but I really want to still be able to see as much of the chipboard as possible. So I want to give it shape, but when I give it shape, of course, the clip isn't going to sit flat, and that's where my glue gun comes in. So I'm going to glue at the top here, and let's see. Yeah, put that, really press this bit down, which is the bit that I'm going to want glued down flat so that I can then put this over the top like so. And again, you can choose with your clips, you can have one or the other, you know, there's 2 different styles. When I'm sure that glue has all dried, I could actually, because it's got such a beautiful reverse, I could actually curl this one upwards like that and this one underneath, really give it some texture. The underneath I'll glue strings. Shouldn't pull them, should you? Should use something like a hairdryer, a heat gun on. Don't use a hairdryer on them, please. Just curling that one, letting that dry. And then I'll do the same on this side as well. So I think I'll curl this one under so you can still see that clipboard. And the bottom one I'll curl over. So do opposite corners. Just so we've got some shape on there. So this is a card that would absolutely be hand gifted. Here we go. I'll be catching up later as a fab collection. Thank you so much, Ashley. Right, so a bit of distressed paper on there. Now I've got lots of pieces from, let's see. Now it's the sheet that has the beautiful green wood grain in. I very much doubt I've got a full sheet in here to show you now because it's one of my favourites and I think I've used it all. Pretty sure I have. Oh, here we go. Look, I've actually got the sheet that I cut it from. So it's a sheet of wood grain that has flowers all the way around the bottom, and I've hand cut. Now I did this so it didn't take too long during the live. Can you imagine how long the live would be if I cut all this whilst you were here? So I want to put florals coming out from underneath the clipboard and underneath the piece of paper as well. So I'm going to start building those up. Now these can slot in with just my paper glue. Don't really need. So there's a lot of options for you to be cutting things out, fussy cutting, if you like fussy cutting. I know it's not for everyone, but I do quite like spending some time doing that sometimes. I have to be in the mood for it. I'm going to put this purple flower under there and this purple flower under here. I've got a yellow flower as well. Let's do the yellow. I mean, I probably had a plan for the yellow, but not now. Oh, I've got this large one too. Whoops. put you on, sneak you under there, and we can shape these two. Now I have got a rub on here. I'm going to do this bit in a minute. I've got a rub on here. I talked about these earlier. I adore them. So they peel off the backing. Obviously cut them out first. And this is going to sit so nicely. In fact, I'm thinking I might change. No, let's go this side. So because this is shaped, the rub-on still fits around it. I'm going to just burnish this. So I'm just using a scoring tool. You do get a wooden stick in the packet. So friends, and I just do a little bit at a time when I'm working on a shaped item like this, because if it moves, you need to then reposition. But I found with this, it just works so perfectly. I've never had the issue where, oh look at that. That's why you don't say it until you pull it off. I was literally going to say I've never so far had the issue where bits come off, but there we go. Easily remedied. Just because I was going on the shaped element there. I mean, obviously you can do that first before you glue down, but look at that. It's like you stamped it on earlier. And now this is fun. Oh, I've got some blackberries here as well. I definitely want to be putting the blackberries on because that's the whole kind of theme going on here. Let's slot that in there. And lastly, now I took a little bit of fussy cut florals from one of the papers, a bit like this, and I've got the same florals in the background here. So with my, it's just black cardstock magnifying glass cut out, and then this was laminated. So a laminating sheet, made sure it's glossy as well, because I know you can get matte ones. The cut out elements look fab. Thank you. Great if you've got the time and the patience to be fussy cutting, of course. And I'm going to place this on here, and I'm just going to use my scissors and cut this out, cut round it. I can cut nearer the edge of the magnifying glass. How's everyone's picture? A little stream check. Is everyone see and hear clearly enough? There we go. So I've now got my glossy magnifying glass. I'm going to use a little bit of, this is just my acrylic glue around the edge there. All good, amazing, fantastic. Place this over the top. Just flip it over, make sure that I haven't got any edges showing. There we go. And then I'm going to put this on my project. So it's just kind of, you can just see the smaller ones underneath, and it looks like you've magnified the flowers from the edge there, which is just a little bit of fun. I think I'm going to use really small foam pads for that. So it might be a little bit fiddly, but well worth it. All good, all good. Fantastic. Barry said perfect. Very complimentary, thank you. There we go. 1, 2, probably just 2. I find often people will go a little bit, maybe 3, a little bit overboard with the sticky. It's not necessary because these are super sticky. Just foam pads, so you can pick these up anywhere. I tend to go quite deep with my foam pads. In fact, I couldn't even tell you where I picked those ones up from now because I have so many of them. Right, the cardstock, the black cardstock I've used, as well as the white cardstock there, is all the Arden Creative cardstock. If you didn't know, they have their own cardstock, which is brilliant because you've got the choice of smooth cardstock or one side smooth, one side textured, which is just amazing. If you want to be stamping, you want to do it on a smooth side. If you want to die cut, maybe you want the texture. You know, you've got both those options. So we've got the clipboard with the distressed bit of paper with the florals. There's all sorts going. There's a lot going on here. I have put, but can you see how by putting that white in the background. It's just lifted everything up from the background so it doesn't all blend in too much. Now I'm going to jump straight into a second demonstration. So just because I've spent so much time talking already, and I want to show you the decoupage papers. So let me just pop back to myself. So back to
face, just while I get set up so that you don't see me moving things around on my desk, because I must admit I am actually quite a tidy crafter. So unplug my glue gun, and I don't like to start a project without cleaning up afterwards first. Sorry, not great for demonstration purposes. I love it for TV because you actually get those 5-10 minutes where the presenter goes off, does their own thing, and I can tidy up in that time. When I'm live on my own, don't usually get that. So I'm just going to set some things up. So in case it's easier to see, look at the dimension we've got on there. But of course you don't have to have, but I just love the magnifying glass. That's so cute. Let's put that up there and bring in these bits that are in front of me. So there's going to be a little bit of heat embossing in this one. I have already prepared it, but the first thing I want to show you is that decoupage paper, because these are just beautiful. So peeled paint, let's go with dusty Concord as well, 2 colours that I use a lot. Got some paint brushes here. I've got my collage medium, matte medium there. And then I'm going to just delve into my decoupage papers as well. So, okay, I think that's everything. Do you want to come back down? Let me see. Perfect for Mother's Day. Yes. Oh, so
the cardstock is great. Love how it comes 12 or 12 and A4, smooth and textured. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Annette. We are usually messy by nature, yes, usually, but I just find it kind of resets my creativity if I'm resetting between each project. So I sort of, right, forget the last one, forget any mistakes made, forget any mess, let's start fresh. And I just find I'm more creative that way. So I'm going to use this really pretty decoupage paper. So it is essentially like a tissue paper if you've not seen it before. You can wet it. It will usually hold its own quite well when it's wet. Too much and it can tear, but because it's so fine, which is why I like to use the collage matte medium. So I've got an old brush, and I try to wash my brush every time I've used it. Let me just straighten my mat because that is not good. There we go. See, bit of a perfectionist there. So I've got an old brush and I put my matte medium on, not too much. It's surprising how far this goes actually. And I also, in fact, the white cardstock is the Arden Creative white cardstock again I'm using. Just I cut myself a tag. Some water there just to help blend this in, and I'm going to go edge to edge, making sure I'm going over the edge. I'll wipe my mat afterwards. I'm not worried about that. That's what a craft mat is for. And then I am going to just scrunch this paper a little. Scrunch it carefully, straighten it out afterwards. There, like so, and place that down onto my tag. And rather than just smoothing it down flat, I'm doing it a little bit of pinching just to ensure that I get lots of crinkles in there. You can put it down smooth, of course you can. If you prefer it smooth, by all means, you know, do that. But I just like the actual texture that we get in there. If you like mixed media and things, that might be perfect for you. So pressing down particularly the edges, and if you need to add more glue, I prefer, if I can help it, not to add water or glue at the moment to the top of the paper, just because that's where I might get a little bit of resistance then with the colour. But these decoupage papers were created so that we can add colour to them. So just making sure that that's as flat as possible. There we go. I might give this a little whiz with my heat gun just for a moment. Hopefully that's not too loud for you. I mean, I'm going to add more moisture to this in a minute, some water, some paints and things, but for now, there we go. For now, that'll just dry that off. There we go. So that's all crispy again. Turn that over and trim off the excess. You can trim off the excess at the very end if you prefer, but no, so Stamplot. No, absolutely not just you at all. 100%. I think almost, I would say there's And 90% of crafters who are messy, if not more, in fact. I mean, I do, while I'm creating, I get messy, absolutely. But it's at the end of each project, at the start of the next one. I can't just go straight into another one without tidying up. Maybe I'm not a true crafter, I don't know. Okay, so that's decoupage paper. Now also, if you're going to be doing this onto a coloured cardstock, you're going to see a little hint of that colour come through too. Not too much, the white holds its own quite well, but you will see just a hint of it. Then I'm going to add some colour. So I'm going to have a mat here. So this is just like a resistant mat because this is going to help me add some colour. Distress Oxide. I've got Dusty Concord. Lou, where can we get your products in the UK? Sorry if you've already said. There's quite a few people here that are selling it. So Sir Stampalot, Julia Watts, they both said this morning or today that they're selling it. I'm sure anyone watching will add links for you. There's also, if you go onto the Arden Creative Studio website, there's a list of stockists there too. So lots of places. It will be on Hobby Maker. If it's not now, it'll be on in a week or so's time because I've got a show next Sunday with it. So yeah, tidy while creating don't coexist. Not whilst creating, when finished. So now I'm going to do a little spritz in these two corners, which is where the florals are, just to help my ink move around a little bit because this isn't going to be perfect. I'm just going to apply some purple over the florals. I could sit and paint this perfectly, but I'm not going to. I really like the loose watercolor look instead. So popping that in there like so. And then I'm going to continue picking up the green and dabbing over where the leaves are too. Quite happy if this kind of mixes a little bit with purple and green, don't mind that at all. I am going to give this a spritz just to blend those colours out a bit more. And then I need a little bit, now let's go green around, yeah, let's go green around the edge. Just finish this off. So you can see how the decoupage paper really holds colour nicely. Probably could have done with a little more of the glue underneath there, I think, because it's lifting at the edges. But you can go back in and do that. Okay, so nice and loose. I don't think that purple, I think the purple I need to add a bit more. Probably can't see that until I add the water. Let's use the smaller brush. Just do some flicks of the purple too. Really loose watercolor look there. Nice. Okay, happy with that. So let's a bit of a wipe. Certainly always wipe underneath because I don't want that color transferring to something that I don't want it to transfer to. There we go. Let's take heat gun to this as well. Just dry that off because it's a thin substance as well, the decoupage paper. Hi Monica, how are you? Thank you for joining. Because it's thin, it does dry ever so quickly. So popping a few seconds drying in between isn't going to hold up my crafting at all. And I love with the oxide, you just get that chalkiness about the colour. And sometimes like with the purple, I can see like blues coming through as well. There we go. I think that's pretty much all done. Now on the edges of this, I'm just going to use, let's use black soot because I've got black print to bring it all together. I'm just going to scrape around the edge a little bit, just with the black soot. Now this is the ink, not the oxide, because I find the ink is more black, whereas the oxide is like a chalky grey. I haven't actually punched the hole in the top, but I'll do that with an eyelet later. There you go. So that's one way of using a decoupage paper. Now let's make this into a project. Let's do some stamping. Now the stamps are those large ones. Now I showed you earlier all the different combinations. Let's just grab that board again. that we can be doing. I say this is not all the different combinations at all. Oh, fantastic, Monica. Well, hopefully you can stay with me a little bit longer. I'm just finishing up the last demo, but you can always watch back. I'm going to be doing this one. So this is simply 2 of the curved stamps. That's all. So I'm going to use this curved one. I'm going to show you how beautifully it stamps once. And embosses. And I've already got one that I've done both sides of, so you don't need to sit and watch me do that too much. I did have, there it is. So I've just got myself an acrylic block. Now, years ago, we will move to stamping platforms from acrylic blocks, and that's fine. But I've gone back to acrylic blocks. I prefer to have that sort of handle on it to move and twist the stamp how I want it as I'm stamping. Now, it doesn't suit everybody, I know, but it's kind of an old school thing. So I just have a very thin acrylic block. It also helps if you have stamps in your stash that don't stamp as well as they used to, you can apply a little more pressure to areas. However, these are photopolymer stamps. So all the textures ones are photopolymer. Honestly, the quality is unbelievable. I love the quality of them. So I'm just going to stamp this one here. No issues stamping any of them whatsoever. Really, really proud of that. So press this down all over. As you saw first in the beginning, I did put my anti-static bag over the cardstock. There we go. And it's only really when, mind you, this is where I see whether my anti-static bag works, because I'm using white powder. Hopefully I've got the whole design there. Now I usually get to that stage, we can see a little bit more, and I take it behind me and give it a little flick just on the floor, just so it's not on my desk. I hate having powder on my work area. If it's on the floor, I hoover it up. Here it just gets stuck to things. Things like your stamps, if you get grains of embossing powder on your stamps, the sticky's going to go. It's easily remedied. You just wash your stamps with water, or certainly the photopolymer ones. Wash them with water, let them air dry, that's essential, and then they'll be sticky again. So let's just heat set this. I agree, it's quicker too. Yeah, it is quicker, isn't it? Just to sort of move around, and yes, I think it's just an old school way of stamping, and it's not ideal if you've got any dexterity issues. Obviously a stamping platform is going to be the better option for you, likely. But yeah, I just have my preference. That's how I like to do it. So I'm just going to set this quickly so you can really see the detail in one of the stamps. They are beautiful, honestly, for things like colouring them in. They're absolutely stunning. So one of them there, and then the same image here is going, and I've cut this out already. Yes, it did take me a while. It's going to create something like that. Obviously I cut the center out with a craft knife, scissors around the edge. But let's see how that is going to sit really nicely on there. Now I've also got a few other bits I want to do on here. This is from one of those papers. Do you remember the paper, the 8x8 paper where I cut the flowers out from the edge? This has actually come from the center of it. In fact, I could use the purple in the background. I think that's kind of a bit too matchy, but I do love that wood grain. I think that is going to sit really beautifully in this project. So let's line that middle panel up there. Just take a pair of scissors and cut underneath around so that we can't see anything. Oh, there's one. Do you know what? One thing I haven't asked, and I always ask in lives, is what's the weather like for you? I am out of practice, aren't I? What is the weather like where you... Oh, do you know what? Oh, I've just placed that down on the side. I actually kind of prefer it on the side. What do you think? Was going to go in the middle. I'm kind of thinking I prefer it slightly off to one side. I liked it up there. What do we think? Let me know while I do the next bit. So the next bit I am going to cut for you. I'll do some rub-ons in a moment. Oh, I haven't shown you much of the rub-ons. Oh, I did show you on the last project. That's okay. I am going to cut for you Let me just find it. The notebook edge, which comes in the document and discover. I'm going to show you a little trick for lining this up as well. So we've got the notebook edge, we've got an open end one side, and then we've got the kind of the torn edge the other side. So decide whereabouts you want it, and we do need to tape this down. First one doesn't matter quite so much how much you tape it. I'm just going to come off to the side. In fact, what I'll do is back, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to die cut here. It saves me bringing it onto my desk, but I've still got that rubber mat in there from when we did our embossing of the wood grain. So take that out. I'm just going to die cut this through quickly. So weather, beautiful, sunny and warm here in London. We don't have the sunshine, I'm afraid, but it is not too bad. It's not too cold, it's mild, it's just kind of meh. We had a lot of fog yesterday, extremely foggy, made it feel really dark and dull. Okay, now I'm going to come back down to my desk a second because I want to show you what I tend to do. Let's move because there's a mirror. You'll see all my camera setup. Right, so now what I like to do is, first of all, I like to snip away that excess, pop the little pieces out as well, flick those out, look, they're everywhere. So I've got my notebook there. Then what I like to do is just on this line, which is where I'm now going to put the die, because once you've laid your die down, you can't quite see where it needs to line up. Okay, so what I tend to do is just cut away a little bit further. I'm talking maybe 3mm. I've just taken that little tab away from the end there, and now you're not going to be able to see this because it's a black die and it's a black cardstock. What I do is I go from upside down, and I can just place the top of the notepad line just over where I've cut there, so I can see how that lines up perfectly. So stick that down. Okay, there we go. As long as that's all straight, I can put that back through my die cutting machine, which I will again will flip you around just so you can see. So run that through. I do love this glittery plate because it doesn't show the cut lines. There we go. Sun this morning, a bit cold in Buckinghamshire. They say it's going to be a wet run tonight. Oh, it's rained for you in Scotland, is it, Gillian? Oh dear. Replying to Monica. Karina, I will post to Australia, but we'll need to talk about it first. Oh, okay. Talking amongst yourselves, that's absolutely fine. I don't need to be involved with that. There are stockists in Australia. Monica's in. Do you post? Oh, Monica, are you going to Australia, or is this for someone else? You're in London. Right, so flick that out, and then I'm just going to bring you down, back down, so you can see. There we go. So continuous, and you can continue that on and on and on and on as long as you need. So I'm going to just trim this down so that it fits the base of my tag. I don't know, whoever decided this was going to be an hour live. Monica, it's all at the beginning. It took me over 45 minutes, about 48 minutes, I think it was, to go through the collection. I can't do it slowly. But yeah, when this live's finished, if you just pop back onto it, you can watch it from the beginning again. You'll be able to see 45 minutes of me showing you everything. So I'm going to put glue at the top of this bit, and then glue at the bottom of here, and that way I know it's all covered. Put that there. What did we decide on the side? Are we going on the side, or are we going? Hello from, oh, Cedar Rapids. Hello, Scrapmania. How are you? On the side, I'm just seeing if anyone else is saying on the side or in the middle. Stella, it's been a lovely start to my day. I'm going to want to craft instead of work today. I know, I'm so sorry. Have a lovely day though, Stella. I don't think so. It's just one other said on the side. Well, that's me. I'm going to be on the side and with this instead of in the middle. And that wood grain is really nice, but because it's got that green hint to it, I think it's going to work nicely there. But before I put that down, let's put the lid on my glue, something else I like to do. In an ideal world, I'd be putting my stamp away and cleaning it and everything while I'm talking to you. That's not going to happen. Let's look at the rub-ons. So I want a little more texture in the background. Let's darken it a little. So I'm going to use these rub-ons, cut it in half so that I can come onto the edges. Again, wooden stick in the packet, but anything to burnish it down is absolutely fine. I adore these rub-ons so much. There we go. And it's so flat. It's perfectly flat. It's brilliant. And then the same this side. So I kind of echo whatever I do on one side, I'll do in the opposite kind of corner. There we go, side. Oh, we have got on the side, side. Yeah, okay. I'm going for the side. It definitely looked better, didn't it? This is why I'm better crafting with people. Let's just pick the edges off. There we go. There's a rub-on. Okay, and this is going to sit on the side about there, I think. I think that will work. Oh, that's so nice. Karina said, hi Sally, just noticed your link. Wow, so happy to have a loose collection in your shop. Oh, fantastic. So just using up some foam pads. Doesn't need to look pretty on the back. Really doesn't. This is the kind of thing I'd probably put inside a card or on the front of a card that could be removed, or even just make for my own craft room as decoration. Something like that, I think. And then, right, let's show you those inkable florals quickly. I've got to find them. I know I've got them here somewhere. I may have got them out already. There's stamps that I haven't used yet. I'm not going to get time today. Okay, the inkable florals. So, for example, if I wanted some leaves, with or without the script on, either way, I think I'd go plain with this one because I want the background to show up. I used peeled paint on my decoupage paper, so I want the leaves to match perfectly. I can use spritzes and sprays. I can use my distress oxides. It doesn't matter, honestly. There's so many choices, but I can just simply ink this. You don't have to, of course, ink it all in one shade. So let's do slightly darker towards the stem, and then let's take, I did have forest moss, there we go. A little bit of this is quite dark, around the stem, just to darken the base a little bit. You can do it in here, or you can pop it out and ink it afterwards. Very good. Pop that away. As I say, no pips to be seen. You can do the same with the flowers as well. I think I inked this one. Ah, so there's one with the script. And there's one without. And then just coincidentally, these florals from the same, without inking them, the colour works really well. Oh, do you know what? I think I might put my hot glue gun on again quickly. Let's pop a few more of these out. Nearly done, everybody. Anyone who's holding on for lunch or anything like that, I'm nearly done, I promise. So I think I might, you can shape these in different ways. I might bend the petals upwards for this one. Like I say, I'm using the printed coloured side, but you could also ink blend on the reverse. So many options. I can hear a dog scratching at the door because he can hear me in here. He's not coming in. It's not happening. They're getting a little bit grouchy, I think. It's knowing that I'm home, but they're not in the room with me. So just, you can use your nails, which is what I do, which you probably shouldn't. There are pokey tools, bone folders, all sorts of different tools you can use. So sometimes I fold them like that, so I'm just squeezing the petals in the middle. Sometimes like this one, I've actually, it's probably too tiny to see, I've curved the petals over instead. Yeah, entirely up to you how you do it. Now this should be quite warm already. It's getting there. Not quite ready. So I'm going to place my flowers. You can also layer the petals up. Now they're shaped like this with a little V in the middle. Yolanda, we love this collection, available in stock at Noort & Zo in the Netherlands. There we go. So somewhere else for you to purchase if you're that way as well. Lost signal and then another vote for side. We've gone for the side. Yay. Hi Emma, how are you? I hope you're well. Carrie said side as well. Everyone's saying side. We'll start. Yeah, that's best way, Monica. Save everyone listening to me go through it all again. Right, heat guns getting there. Not. Is it on? I wonder if it's on. It wasn't on. I thought it was getting there. It wasn't. There was old glue on it. It's getting there. Right. So while I wait for those, let's just look at our sentiment strips. Which sentiment are we going to put on? So these are the laser cut strips. I feel like it needs to be black. I think. What do we think? So we can look at both. Now I love, my favourite one from here is There is no better designer than nature. I don't know why, I just love this phrase. I think that's true. See flowers, leaves and that, nature. So we've got the white. Obviously I'll trim it down, but we've also then got the black version. So we can have a look and decide which goes better, white or... Oh, I'm thinking, oh no. Okay, I need your help, everybody, again. Do we go white or do we go with black? I'm leaning towards black. I thought it was going to be white. When I put the white on, I thought that was it. But actually, when I put the black on, Samantha also says black. Oh, sorry, I said, oh, nature and luo. Nature and luo. Have I lost something? Barry says black. Yeah, we're going black. We are going black. There we go. So I'm going to trim this down, like I say. There's no better designer than nature. That'll be the two. Don't usually like to do things in twos, but I think as long as they're offset like so, that will be fine. I want to do these flowers. My glue gun's just about there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the first one. So this is a slightly larger flower, so it will go down first. Pinching it together, so that V that's in the centre of it, I'm just bringing those two petals together, giving that one a second to set. Let's go for one up the top as well while that's cooling. Just where I've put those green leaves that I inked. And then another one in the centre there. So I'm just layering them up, give it lots of dimension. It's kind of almost back to old school when we used to punch the flowers and then shape them. Remember that? Simpler times, weren't they? There's something like a pokey tool just to press into the middle. Really bring those flowers into each other. Great. Okay. Lastly, very last thing, let's adhere these down. There we go. So it's only Tuesday, isn't it? Strange. What stands out more? I meant nature and Lou. I get it now. I was not sure what you meant. Most people have gone for black. Margaret said white. Honestly, there is no right or wrong way. There are strings there, you just can't see them. I'll use my heat gun on them in a little while. I haven't found a glue gun that doesn't provide strings, unfortunately. I've only used a tiny little bit. This foam pad is on the skew. Let's put that straight. Everybody at Arden who's joined me, I do apologise for taking so long. This is well into your lunches, isn't it? There we go. There is no better designer than nature. Okay, and I have a little bit of white paint, last finishing touch, and then we'll say goodbye. Beautiful white paint. Could do with, there we go. Now this is a brand new pot, but still I will always put a bit of water into it. This just makes it, this is the Dr. P.H. Martin's bleed proof white. It's my go-to, but like I say, just had a new one delivered. Just give me some splats. This is just something that I like to do. Let's do a couple of bigger blobs, particularly over the flowers. There. Let's tidy that up in a moment. So I'll have to go wash my brush. Okay, and there, obviously I need some ribbon. I need to punch the hole and do some ribbon. So there's 2 projects made today. Things falling over everywhere with the collection, but there's so much more that you can do. So I think that's everything. I think I need a breather and a drink. So an hour and 40 minutes, not too bad. I mean, 40 minutes of that was showing you all the products. So if you did miss the beginning, you can go back in a moment. When I've finished the live, you'll be able to go back and watch again and see about 45 minutes of me going through the products in detail, showing you absolutely everything. Thank you so much, Barry. That's very sweet. And thank you everybody who's joined today. As I say, you can go onto the Arden Creative Studio website. There is a stockists page. You should be able to see a lot of the stockists. Obviously, that is for Arden. For textures, it's going to be similar. So, but it's worth contacting those stores and seeing if they've got it online, because a lot of them will have. But I will work out a full list of stockists for you as much as I can and as soon as I can, so you can all see that. Thank you to Fiona for being in the background as well. Everyone at Arden for supporting me with textures, because I am so thrilled that it is back. It has been a year, so it's been a long year. Basically, a lot of it has just been designing this collection, but we do have others in the pipeline, so I can't wait for those. But let's get this launch underway first. Thank you, absolutely everybody who's commented. If you've been watching quietly in the background, thank you for joining. If you're watching on catch up, thank you for coming back and watching. So there will be lots of lives. I'm going to start soon doing a live every Wednesday evening on the Arden and Lou Collins and Textures Facebook pages. Try and get it onto YouTube as well, so look out for those. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the week. Oh, and don't forget to follow us on social. So there's Paper Crafting with Lou Collins, Lou Collins Crafts, Textures by Lou Collins, yes, my name's there a lot, and also the Arden Creative Studio. That is on Instagram and it is on Facebook. So they are all the pages you need to follow. But then we've also got the Textures group, Crafting with Textures. Come and join us just for chat, but I'd love you to share your projects there. So if you've been creating with textures, old or new, I'd love you to share in the group and just generally have a chat. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I hope it goes well, and I'll speak to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.